morning, everyone. It is 8:15. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I'm right next to you.
That's true.
We can hear you loud.
Yelling in your ear. Marcus Allen joins us today. You're back from London. You're back from San Diego.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be home?
It's so great to be home. I got to be honest. Every time you guys call me up to this setting right here, I get a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. I get excited.
Are those butterflies that you're
Yes.
to hang with the girls?
We wanted you to talk about this first topic with us.
Because here's the thing. When you travel, I imagine you eat fast food a lot, or am I wrong? Do you pack your lunch?
No, what happens is
Can you see Mark with the brown bag?
I start to wobble a little bit, and then I go, oh, that's right. I haven't eaten in 12 hours. So I'm that guy.
You fail. Okay, how about kids? Because I know Dina has the story that she's going to set up right now that has to do with kids and fast food.
Yes. So there is an article out with USA Today today. Today. And so in the article it talks about how fast food restaurants are all kind of stepping up their game because of the health kick, the nutrition kick.
Right.
All these restaurants are now wanting to cater to families who are a little more health conscious. And so we've got like the McDonald's offering the milk instead of the, sugary beverage, and then the apples instead of the French fries. And a lot of fast food chains are stepping up. And so basically this article specifically talked about the fact that kids meals are not big sales drivers for restaurants like these fast food chains.
Okay.
So they're making some changes. So our question for all of you today is, what is your go-to fast food restaurant? If you have kids that are trying to rush to and from school and practice and rehearsal and meetings and whatever else they have going on in their busy lives, is there a fast food restaurant where you'll say, okay, I'm going to go to this particular restaurant today, we're going to get a quick meal, and if you do those things, are you finding yourself substitute items, or are you just letting them have the fries, or are you saying, okay, you can have the apples instead because it's better for you? So I'm just curious, from a parent level, Mark, you actually have kids who have kind of grown up through all the changes.
And you know me, no shock, I'm pretty easy-going about this kind of stuff, but my wife, she is militant about GMO-free, about trying to find gluten-free. It's a horrible marriage. But regardless, she's been really good about keeping our kids pure all this time. However, try as you may, and Rob will back me up on this, McDonald's has...
had one of them right now.
Did you?
What'd you have?
Robbie's out of the vending machine.
There you go.
Pizza Hut. The entire
pizza day.
Try as we may, the branding works. Our kids at a very early age wanted McDonald's. That's all they talked about. And so we've taken to McDonald's, and my wife, would limit the portions early on before McDonald's made substitutes. My daughter's older. She's college age. And then by the time my boys came along, finally they were offering the substitutes. The apples.
Now, what brought you into these fast food places? Because I think we know some fast food on occasion it's a great thing. Yeah. What made you say, okay, we're gonna go in here and get something to eat?
The toys, the Happy Meals, the advertising works.
That lures kids in.
It's the power of television.
But was it convenience at some point when our society started to evolve into this digital age, even pre-digital, right before? Was it this idea that parents had a lot on their plate, kids were getting more involved, that you needed some convenient factors, so then the fast food that comes to you fast, you don't have to sit and dine. Did that become attractive? We act like you're like from ancient times.
You know, I can tell you, when Henry Ford invented the automobile.
After plowing the field,
no, but you do bring up
we would
a
get
good
a Big
point.
Mac.
I do at least have the perspective to tell you that I'm of the generation that it's the car generation. The car generation is what caused all of this. But now in the digital age, we want it even quicker. We want to be able to go on our app and have it ready before we get to the window.
And that's the thing.
Well, and I will say this too, growing up for me, I had one friend whose mom never let her have fast food. And then when she came to my house, we changed that, and she would never tell her mom because my mom was a working mom, and it was kind of that era where moms were starting to go back to work. Not that she didn't cook amazing meals most of the time, but there were the occasions where she didn't have time, and I had something going on, and she just needed to get food in me. And so we would go to Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's, KFC, whatever it was, just so that I could get something. And I remember my friend loved it, but she could not tell her mom. It was like this forbidden secret. We could never tell her mom.
So it was a treat, or did it become a way of life at some point?
No, for us it was probably, I would say maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks we were opting in for the fast food option just because of timing.
Well, I think though it's shown that it's become a way of life. There's a fast food restaurant on every corner. You go in certain areas, certain neighborhoods, you can't drive 2 minutes without seeing any restaurant in particular, whether it's a Taco Bell, a Jack in the Box, a Carl's Jr. So I do think it is a way of life. But again, you also have to compare health before fast food restaurants versus health after. Body types before versus body types after.
Right.
To me, there's no coincidence in the changes in our health, considering the fact that our parents did not have fast food and we do and our kids do.
Well, it's also education, you know, being more aware of things like diabetes now. You know what you shouldn't put in your body, especially if you're more prone to, you know, when you have certain amounts of salts or sugars. And so I think now we're all a little bit more health conscious because of the information that's out there.
Our parents' fast food, I mean, it was a totally different kind of fast food. I mean, you could have cut our parents, they would bleed trans fat.
Real fast. But here's the thing, Rob, you're of a different generation. You have small kids now, knowing that certain places opt in, right, for the nutritional sides, right? So you're still going to get your fatty, cheesy stuff for the main course, but you're going to get milk and apple slices on the side. Does that make you go, okay, I'll go there then?
Well, yeah, and since, you know, we're the ones with the car and the money, we're making those choices for the kids. And when there's options, instead of French fries, apples, we choose the apples. We choose white milk instead of chocolate milk. You're going to save some calories. She's used to white milk. So you can make some choices. And I think one of the biggest things that's happened that's helpful is posting the calories on the thing. Because look, let's face it, fast food tastes pretty good. And it's convenient, and it's usually affordable. So it's everywhere for a reason. And then it's in that moment, if you're like, okay, today I'm hungry, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
You can go there. Or if you're like, you know what, I'm going to choose this instead of that, it helps you out.
Yeah. You said something interesting right now. You said, let's face it, fast food tastes good. I think to a majority of people, we go, oh yeah, because it's sort of this guilty pleasure. But to people like Cornelia, who don't really, you don't eat meat, when we say fast food, you kind of cringe.
Because I don't like the way it tastes.
So you don't think it tastes good?
I don't think it tastes good. Granted, I did before, but for me, what I realized, I don't eat meat, and my palate changed. When you stop eating certain things, when you finally do eat it again, it just doesn't taste the same. So when I stopped eating, like chicken, I stopped eating chicken, and one time I ordered an egg salad sandwich, and there was a piece of chicken in the egg salad sandwich, and I bit the chicken, and I was like, this just, like, it just didn't
chicken.
It didn't taste the way I remembered at all. So the same with fast food. Like now, I remember when I moved up here, I had to stop and I wanted something to eat in the morning. The only thing that was open, they had like breakfast sandwiches, so I got one. I hadn't had one in a while, and I was like, this is what it tasted like, because I stopped eating it for so long.
You cleansed your palate?
That's what I feel like, yeah.
I know, Dina, you have some people with questions. Can I say something really quick? The definition of fast food, because it became this debate. Well, what's fast food? Where do you draw that line between slow food and fast food,
or
right?
Grab and go food or fried food.
Fried food. Grab and go, is that different than fast food? It's all in branding. So fast food, by definition, food that can be prepared quickly and easily and is sold in restaurants and snack bars as a quick meal or to be taken out.
So Starbucks is fast food?
Technically it is.
It seems like it.
I looked up something that it was a fast food beverage store, and so but now they are offering so many more items. They have so much more food now than they used to.
Right.
But that food, if you look at the sodium count of some of the sandwiches, not to dog on them because I eat them, but if it's just calories you're looking at, that's one thing. But if you're looking at the overall item that you're getting, what is so bad about fast food? Probably the salt, probably the trans fat,
because
probably the calories, all of it. If you look at some of the packaging in some of these grab-and-go locations, some of those are packed with just as much stuff that you probably shouldn't eat.
I'm having the grilled panini with, you know, turkey and maybe
and probably
some
1,200
Gruyere cheese,
whatever.
but I should be eating a Big Mac instead.
I mean, maybe they say salad dressing has more calories than some hamburgers do.
Yeah.
I mean,
The ranch
you just got to be
dressing,
conscious. Yeah, but I do want to bring in some of the comments from our viewers because we asked you at the top, what's your go-to fast food restaurant if you had to pick one, and do you substitute anything when you get there? And so we're getting a lot of you chiming in. I know James Vaughn. Hello, thank you for joining us, James.
Oh, that's my boo, James Vaughn.
Okay. Hey,
You know
James.
James.
I know James.
James says Chipotle all day, every day.
That's true.
Okay.
Chipotle is really good.
Yeah,
But do we consider Chipotle fast food?
See, I call that a counter service restaurant, but I guess technically it's fast
But
food.
here's the thing: if you were Chipotle, right, and they're always making changes, we know queso, right? Queso dip is now on the menu, right? Fully. I go to you, Rob. Because you know.
Well, you cut me, it's not trans fats, it's queso.
It's queso dip. But if you were Chipotle and you're looking at the branding side of it, and you're on the marketing team, do you want to be affiliated with the term fast food? Does that decrease your
But do
clout?
they call themselves fast food or casual
Let's
dining?
look it up.
Right.
Let's look it up.
You know, sometimes they try to switch it up and say, yo, no, we're not fast food, we're casual. Dining.
Well, that's like when McDonald's started switching up. They have
Like
the
I'm gonna
kiosks
sorta
now.
eat
There's
that. Yeah,
nicer
like, I'm just
uniforms.
I mean, Taco Bell's going to be
Relax
able to
and
be
eat.
cantina style with no drive-through now. We said yesterday they're opening 300 stores with alcohol. It's still fast food.
Okay, Chipotle Mexican Grill is the official name.
Right.
Restaurant company.
Okay. I mean, it's
Chain
all,
of-
It's all
in the eye of the
semantics.
beholder.
According to
Yes.
Wikipedia, which you know is Wikipedia, but fast casual restaurants in the United States.
Okay. Marie Knowles, hello, thanks Marie, says fast food is not healthy. Better choices to plan, pack the kids a fresh sandwich and fruit. Isn't that the idea?
That's the goal.
But is that...
But is the sandwich better?
well...
If you make it yourself and you can pick which ingredient, because think about it. Let's say
Bread,
you go to
mayonnaise,
a
mustard.
fast food restaurant. You don't know what's in those nuggets. You
Right.
know what your kids are eating when you pack their lunch.
You get the
Right.
But
That's
do
the
you know
only
where
thing
it's
you
coming
should
from? We're
You
not
can
there at the
but you
farm.
can decide if you pick the organic thing where you know exactly where it's coming from versus the Oscar Mayer turkey meat.
But again, is organic better for you calorie intake wise? It's not.
Read the back of it,
Organic
read
has
it.
to do
Is
with
it-
the
you can
way
pick
and
which
with
one
the
is better.
pesticide, steroids.
But
You can
organic,
decide.
people don't pick organic because of calories.
That's what I'm just
People
saying,
pick
yeah.
organic because of pesticides.
So is making a sandwich with organic stuff going to save you calories? No.
Well, no, but that's not what makes fast food that bad. The calories only. It's everything else included. It's this. It's the preservatives and everything else in addition too. So if you go to the actual deli and you get the, I always do this, the low sodium deli
Make
meat
that choice.
only lasts for 6 days in your refrigerator because it's not packed with all of the
Right.
nitrates and sodium that's going to keep it alive for 2 months in your fridge. I mean, they're health conscious decisions that we all have to be responsible for our own bodies. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it. No one's judging you.
Now,
you know?
would that have worked out for your working mom back in the day when you were a kid? Would she be able to have something that had that short of a shelf life, hanging around, making those meals all the time?
No, because she didn't have a chance to go to the grocery store every 5 days, I'm sure.
And
Right.
some of the sandwiches that me included, but my friends ate with the Nutella and banana. That doesn't, it was in theory like, okay, mom's putting time, writing the little note. Like, yes, of course, all of that is better in theory, but in terms of health reasons, parents then weren't making those conscious efforts to make it better. And I think now we have that choice, but again, everything is about convenience. So, okay, you take the time to make the sandwich, but it's convenient to go and grab the stuff that's on the shelf, which again is packed with the salt and all of that. So it's just taking that one extra step to say, if I'm going to get meat, let me get the low sodium meat.
Yeah, you got to think about it. Iris Rodriguez says, growing up in a Spanish culture, we were not allowed to eat fast food. It was always homemade. Only once in a while, my dad would treat us to Burger King. So it was a treat when they got to eat it.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Good.
And so one thing that we do every day is we always pack my daughter Lakin's snack bag. She's got a little insulated bag. We throw in like the little ice pack, and we throw in grapes and cheese and some crackers and just easy stuff because.
But will she
that's-
eat it?
Yeah, she'll eat it.
She'll
It's
eat
stuff
it.
that she'll eat that's not that bad, and that we make it every day. And so that way, because usually you get in this moment where you're doing this thing and it took a little bit too long, and you're just kind of moving around, and then it's only in the last moment when you say, okay, this is an impulse decision, the kid's hungry, and because when kids get hungry, they get mean and they get moody, so that's our, get out of jail free card, is that snack bag is always ready to go, because at some point she's always saying, can I have a snack?
Right.
And then we know we've got a healthy option that we made at home.
Good.
Not to call you out, but can it be used as a bargaining tool? I mean, if there's
right.
something that's probably not super healthy, but you know it's going to work when you need your kid to do something.
Food bribes?
Yeah,
Food
food
bribes?
bribes.
Skittle bribes.
So
Yeah.
as a parent, you're supposed to parent with love and respect. We're getting there. Right now, it's fear and bribes. And at some point, we hope that the love and respect will show up. Maybe when she's a teenager.
How does that work? How does that work with older kids?
Well, yeah, this is what I want to hear. I don't want to say this is what you need to get ready for,
Bridging the gap.
but my wife was so good with my kids. They always had to make the right choice at McDonald's. My younger sons, they always had to have the what was it, applesauce at that point? No, it started out as just apple slices. Then you could get apple slices or applesauce.
Yeah.
And it had to be that instead of the French fries every time. Well, I promise you now, they will never grab an apple. Like that apple is set, and you will watch it slowly rot in the fridge while they'll bring home ample fast food that they end up eating leftover fast food.
Yes.
Right.
Look, she does definitely eat French fries, and she does definitely eat some hamburgers every once in a while. But we try and
Skittle or
weave it
two.
in.
Yeah.
She still likes apples. But
Everything
you know what?
in moderation.
But you know what they
right?
do? If it's a fast food place, they always throw in a little cherry on top. So it's apple slices with caramel dip.
With caramel.
Yeah,
dip.
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, "Hey, this is healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's healthy.
Or with a toy, does that tend to work? Apple
Oh, yeah.
slices, milk, and a toy? Is the toy sweet enough?
And you know what's interesting too, and this is a whole other subject, but they kind of genderize their toys a little bit. And so, you know, like there's a girl toy and a boy toy, and sometimes there's just some sort of toy in between. But my daughter, sometimes we get the boy toy, and she goes, I don't want this boy toy. I wanted a girl toy, and it turns into this whole thing.
That is gender norms.
That's a whole other thing. But so not only is it the toy, but then it's a specific kind of toy and all this whole thing.
Yeah.
And is the toy too small because I've got a little one? So then you want to make sure that one can't choke on it and all that.
And they're big kid Happy Meals.
Oh yeah.
And bigger size fries.
Exactly.
Okay, well, keep weighing in. I want to know. I did also post on my Facebook page a list of all the top kids meals and the comparison when it comes to calorie count. You might be surprised how like a Subway sandwich compares to a McDonald's cheeseburger or the Wendy's fries and the Frosty. I mean, some of these places you think you're making really good decisions, but do you know everything that's in your food?